building is a small housing development which we've recently completed for Peabody. It's about 12 or 13 residential units, and it's on an existing 19th century estate built by the famous Peabody architect Henry Darbishire. I mean, the project in a way is quite an ordinary building. It's low-cost housing for a social rented landlord. The purpose of it is to provide decent accommodation, and what we have to do is, first of all, to look at the existing context. Sometimes when you're an architect you have to invent the building from scratch, and it becomes very much about authorship and invention. This project is really much more about lots and lots of ordinary decisions that you make. To begin with the context, we've got a strong existing building stock around. We had to find a way to make something which we could construct in our time that would sit well with the existing buildings and that would produce a kind of decorum or good manners in relation to what's already there. So we thought carefully about that, producing deep window reveals which match the white painted window reveals of the Derbyshire buildings. And also particularly trying to keep those open corners which are so important. At the same time we had to put modern accommodation into it, and so a lot of the work in the building is about small decisions that we made on the inside, making the staircase big and easy to move up and welcoming and full of daylight. Off the staircase there are lobby spaces where people can leave prams and bicycles. Very often in low-cost housing in London, you hang the balcony off the edge of the building and it becomes something that's not very easy to sit out on and not very private. Here what we've done is to pull the balconies back into the building so that it forms a little kind of outdoor room within the building, so to speak. They've got carpets on them and dining tables. They can really live on those balconies, which in London I think is quite important. This would have been built much more densely when it was originally constructed. The railings which you can see behind me were once a building block, which would have meant that the spaces between the buildings were then much smaller. One key event that happened in the 20th century was that in 1940 a bomb completely destroyed the site of which is now our building. Most of the people in the building at the time were killed. That was a bomb site after the war, and soon after that they took down the block next to it to open up the space, and it's been left vacant since then. So this is one of London's last remaining bomb sites that's been filled in.